What's up everybody, Xaenca here, welcome to another WWE Mayhem video. Before we move on to anything else, I want to wish my viewers in India a happy Republic Day. Thank you for all the support you've given me in this channel, and congratulations on 58 years since the establishment of your constitution. With that being said, in this video we're going to talk about and participate in the Royal Rumble update that just came out today for some reason. Even though an earlier post said it was going to come out on Sunday, January 28th, then another post 10 hours ago said it was coming soon. But hey, it's here, so that's what we're gonna do. Now I'm gonna try and cover everything that I know came with this update, and contrary to what they want us to believe, it was not all good, and I'm gonna go over what those changes were as well. Actually, let's start out with a couple of those, just to get some of the bad seeds out of the way so we can talk about all the good stuff later. So if we head over to loot, you'll see that I have a bunch of loot cases to open, which I'll open after I do the beginner and normal difficulties off camera. But the reason we're here at loot is they changed the reward structure of the loot cases, and although some of it is good, I don't know why they had to make some of it bad. So let's look at story first. So as you can see, you can now get air quotes 50 premium keys for opening a story mode loot case, and I'll explain what I mean by air quotes in a moment. But they also increased the amount of protein shakes you get just for opening these, so overall it's a positive change. So they boosted story mode rewards as we requested, so that's good. Now on to the event loot cases, and here is where it gets bad. So as you can see, they lowered it down to 50, air quotes 50, and I opened a bunch of these earlier. I opened about 20 of them, and when they say 50, I was getting like 25s most of the time, and the highest I got was 75, but it was like a rare thing, so it was mostly 25s, sometimes 50, and then like maybe the rate in which a 3-star would show up out of a premium case is how many times it would give you 75. So you're mostly getting 1/4 of what you used to get, so that's pretty terrible. Now if we look at versus, they lowered the amount of 2-star keys you get as well, so yeah, I don't understand why they had to do this. The problem also is that I got a 2-star superstar earlier that was a duplicate, and instead of 50 3-star keys, it only gave 25. So overall, they've lowered the rate in which you get 3-star superstars all around. On top of that, what makes this even worse is they lowered the amount of keys you get for doing matches. So for example, if you do events and you do beginner mode, which used to give you 100 event keys per match, now it only gives you 75. And then same thing goes for normal, it used to give you 125, now it only gives you 100. And for superstar, it used to give you 175, now it only gives you 125. So they've made it harder to get loot cases, and they've basically taken a huge dump on what the loot cases give. So that is god-awful. I have no idea why they did that. When we requested them to boost the story mode rewards, they didn't have to nerf everything else for that purpose. Now onto the 4-star version of the Royal Rumble mode that they just added. Let's look at the rewards for beginner. They give you a Royal Rumble loot case. So it's basically the equivalent of a pay-per-view event loot case, like in the old Clash of Champions event. Basically like a premium, but with select superstars inside. Give you 250 3-star keys, some gold, and protein shakes, so it's looking good so far. You know, I don't know why I can't scroll down, but anyway, looking at normal, they give you also a Royal Rumble loot case, some 4-star keys, and some more 3-star keys, so they're definitely being generous with this one, similar to the Raw 25th Anniversary event. And with the Superstar difficulty, they give you a 3-star loot case and another Royal Rumble loot case, as well as 250 4-star keys. So I'm digging this event. I mean, I hope it's again, I don't know why I can't scroll down. There you go. What I was about to say was I hope this is a sign of things to come, because if they are going to be more generous with the events, then I'm kind of okay with I mean, not really, but I'm kind of okay with the nerfs they made to the regular loot cases. If it's not a sign of things to come and this is just like a one-off every month thing, then I'm not down with the changes they made all around. So with that being said, let's do the beginner and normal difficulties off camera, then open some loot cases. Alright, beginner and normal difficulties complete. Now Superstar is the only one left. With that being said, let's open all the loot cases that we have obtained before we do that. So go ahead and click open, and we have 8 3-stars, 1 premium, 1 SmackDown, 1 Raw, and 2 Royal Rumble loot cases to open. So let's begin with one of the 3-stars, or a few of the 3-stars. Let's make it like a 50-50 situation, and let's see who we get. Alright, Big Cass. I don't think I have him on this data, so that's good. Completing our roster here. No overdrive for that, no 54-star keys, but that's fine. Let's see who we get next. Ooh, Batista. So this is one of the things I wanted to bring up. As part of the update, they actually added 3 new superstars to the roster. Batista, Kurt Angle, and I think it was Bobby Roode. So that's one of them. Hey, and I got Stone Cold Steve Austin. Damn. Back to back to back ones that I don't have yet. That is very surprising. So, man, 442. That's a some hell of a stats. But yeah, so they added 3 new superstars with the update, so that's pretty cool. I hope they continue to do that. Carl Anderson is going to be an overdrive, but one of the things I wanted to, well, I was not bring up, but I was thinking about who I would want added to the roster if I had to pick, and if they're going to do more legends, the first one that comes to mind is Bret Hart, the excellence of execution. The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. Actually quite surprised that he's not in the game yet. So, yeah, 2-star Sheamus. But hopefully, sometime soon they add him. Another one that crosses my mind, which I was reminded of because of the Raw 25 years thing, were Scott Hall and Kevin Nash, Razor Ramon, Diesel. I don't know. You could do whatever iterations you want. They could just be different outfits for the different stars. Ooh, 3-star Randy Orton overdrive. Yeah, they could just be different iterations of clothing for the superstars or whatever the hell you want to do with that. Or you could do kind of like how you did with Undertaker. There's the Brawler version and then there's the Powerhouse version. 3-star Miz overdrive. One thing I noticed also is it's good that they did not nerf the 4-star keys that you get from duplicate 3-stars. If they nerfed that too, this I would be like so mad right now. Because, like, how are you? I mean, I think the part that like bothers me the most about that change is that it's mostly screwing over new players, right? So anybody who starts now basically gets shafted, and it doesn't feel like they've boosted the 3-star rates or 4-star rates of these loot cases that we're opening right now. As you can tell, oh, I don't have oh, I clicked accidentally. Don't have Mankind yet. We'll look at what his stats are after we open the rest of these. But see, you just get mostly 2-stars still. So it's like, if you're gonna do that, keep the overdrive 3-star keys that you get from that the same. You know, keep it at 50, because what the hell, man? You know. And here's a 2-star John Cena.
Awesome! A 2-star superstar.
So
John Cena.
yeah, I really wish that was part of the update. It boosted the 3-star and 4-star rates on these loot cases.
Oh baby, a 3-star.
I mean, but I guess now you can farm them in story mode, but story mode still kind of sucks for what you get out of it. And here's the last of the 3-stars we're opening, and it is Luke Gallows.
A 3-star superstar.
That's a duplicate too, so get all the 4-star keys that we need, man. I mean, we need a lot of those. So hey, that's it for the loot case opening for now, until we do the superstar and have a couple more to open. But just a quick update to the roster. Let's look at Mankind first though. Mankind, okay, 321. But quick update to the roster, I maxed out my Triple H, and I'm working on Roman Reigns now because he's the only powerhouse with a 3-strong attack combo. So now let's go ahead and do the superstar difficulty of the Royal Rumble event. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and pick Big E. It's going to be quite difficult because he's not the strongest. Just FYI, I'm going to cut this to transition seamlessly back to back so it feels like a real Royal Rumble. So the way this Royal Rumble game mode works is that whoever lands the 2-gauge special move called Ring Toss first wins the match, automatically. The additional things they added to this game mode to amp the difficulty, which I don't really understand why they had to do, because they already have it 29 superstars and it's already quite difficult, is that your energy depletes automatically while your opponent's energy increases automatically. So if you don't do anything, your opponent's energy is just going to go up until he can eliminate you. Although they made it so if you attack your opponent, his energy goes down, but if you attack him while he's blocking, then it goes up, so it's like, still pretty bad. Add this to them for some reason giving your opponent 1 bar to start with, or around 1 bar, sometimes over, sometimes just a little bit less. And this can be pretty problematic because this ties into some of the other changes they've made to the combat itself. One last thing I have to add to this is that you see that timer right below the pause button, the one that's for 1 minute altogether. If that time runs out before you eliminate your opponent, you lose automatically, so you kind of have to be proactive and you have to go after your opponent to eliminate him, because hey, time's a-ticking. So as you can see, the best way I've seen to deal with this, especially if you're weaker like my Big E is compared to all of the opponents he's facing, is you attack when you have an opening, but you basically rely on parry. So get your parry timing right if you're trying to do this, because it helps immensely. As you can see, it's quite annoying trying to build up your gauge while it's going down and your opponent's is going up automatically. With that being said, let's go over some of the other changes they've made in this update so you can kind of understand why certain things are different as you're watching this gameplay in the background. The first one reads reversals. You will now be able to reverse any move with one that is of higher value. If your opponent performs a charge, you can choose to reverse it with a special, signature, or super move. If a player performs a signature, you can choose to reverse it with a signature or super signature. This adds more strategy to the game on choosing which reversal to use and when to use it. That's pretty cool, I guess. I don't really have any strong opinions on this one. It's just an additional thing. I guess it would be useful if you feel like your 2 gauge move will finish the opponent off and he happens to hit you with a 1 gauge and you're just like, alright, here's a free chance to use it. So, like I said, no strong opinions. Let's move on to the next point, which is one that actually affects what we see on the screen right now. Unblockable/blockable specials. All charge moves are blockable. All specials, signatures, and super signatures are unblockable. This makes it much easier to pull off your specials as compared to the charge attacks. So this one's kind of weird, because I was thinking they should do the opposite. Like in similar styled fighting games on Android and iOS, the charge move is usually the block breaker, just a move that can penetrate heavy blocking opponents. You know, they're being annoying, all they do is block, hey, here's a charge move. I would imagine it would make more sense to make the special moves blockable, the idea being they're harder to land but they deal more damage. It's whatever, I guess. At least we're getting some uniformity to know what moves to use on blocking opponents. At the end of the day, that's pretty much what matters here, but the problem is they didn't make it where it used to be if they do the grab animation that is unblockable, if they do an attack animation that is blockable. They should have kept that, because there's no real visual cues unless you're paying attention to your opponent's energy bar the whole time you're fighting him. So if you see 1 bar go down, you're like, oh, I can't block that. But if you don't see a bar go down, you're like, oh, I can block that, stun, and take advantage. But another problem, the reason why I say it ties into what we're seeing on screen now is, remember earlier when I mentioned that the opponent starts with 1 bar, like maybe sometimes more, maybe sometimes less? That's still around 1 unblockable move that they can use on you without them having done anything, which is kind of ridiculous. You've already seen the opponent do a few of those on me just up to this point, so you get the point I'm trying to make. And as you saw from the eliminations I've done so far, is that if you have the gauges to use as specials, they're pretty easy to land with this new change. Like, it's not, they made it a little bit easier, they made it much easier, so it's pretty annoying, like, because all you have to do is do it mid-combo, and the opponent knows that too, so it's pretty much a pain in the ass. But on to the next change that they've made. Energy earning. Lots of minor tweaks have gone into the energy system. 10% increase here, 20% decrease there. Overall, it is better. I can't comment too much on this since I don't know what they mean by this. Like, I don't know if they mean tweaks per superstar or just in general or both even. Like, I don't know if this whole your energy goes down and the opponent's energy goes up automatically is actually a thing that's across all modes, because I haven't done any of the other modes since this recording. I hope not, but I don't know, I just kinda, I guess we'll just have to take their word on this being a good thing, because there's no way of indicating that right now. Next change that they've made, there are lots of new signatures added to the game. Swiss Death, End of Days, Splash Mountain, Haluva Kick, and more. Shinsuke's Kinshasa is my new favorite. Good. I hated that Shinsuke Nakamura's finisher was the inverted exploder suplex, and Sami Zayn's was the blue thunder bomb. Well, the latter mainly because the WWE refuses to let him pin a single person with it, even though it looks amazing, and leads people to believe it's the finishing move. I cannot stress how many times he's landed that damn thing, and I'm just like, That should have been the end of the match. That was beautiful, and it gets people off their feet. Everybody does the 1, 2, and then he hasn't pinned a single person with it. It's pretty annoying. It's kind of like the Miz. You know how he stole Daniel Bryan's yes kicks, but they're the no kicks because people do the no when he does them. He hasn't finished that move once, so every time that he sets it up and he does it, you know, he leads up to it and he starts the kicks, I'm like, he's gonna miss the last kick because he never goddamn lands it. Why even do this move? You know what I mean? Like, to create believability, you need to land the move at some point. Like, show them land it sometimes. Show them not land it sometimes. You know, like with Sammy's Blue Thunder Bomb, I would be more impressed seeing that move all the time if he actually pinned people with it every now and then. But knowing that there's no chance in hell the match is over when he lands it, I stopped getting excited. I stopped getting excited a long time ago. But before that, I was like, yes, that is the end. Yes, Sammy. Nope. I digress. I kind of went off course there, but yeah, it's a good thing to see them adding more signature moves or finishers to the game. Ones especially correcting things like Nakamura's being given his actual finisher. One move that I want to see is, and I don't know if they'll add it because they already gave him 2, but Samoa Joe's Muscle Buster. I know he hasn't done it on the main roster, and I don't know if that's because they actually banned the move due to what happened with Tyson Kidd. But it's not a dangerous move. Any move can be dangerous if, you know, the person takes it incorrectly. You know, they've banned so many moves because of the danger factor, but it really just depends on the opponent knowing how to take the move. And with the whole Tyson Kidd thing, I can't say who was wrong there. You know, it can go either way, but a suplex can go wrong. You know, any number of moves can go wrong, and if you start just placing bans on things just for that reason, then you're gonna ban like half of the move list. I mean, James Ellsworth nearly got murdered by an AJ Styles clash, and if AJ Styles wasn't as experienced as he is, because he's a goddamn, you know, he's phenomenal, and he didn't change course of the Styles clash in time, or, you know, put his leg down, James Ellsworth would be dead right now. I'm just saying. So yeah, the Muscle Buster, they recently allowed Seth Rollins to continue using the Curb Stomp, so bring back the Curb Stomp. Yeah, just a number of things could be added as far as these move lists go. But let's move on to the next point. We've kind of spent a good deal of time on this one. New pin animations, new reversal animations, and other animation tweaks. So I've seen some of the new reversal animations and other animation tweaks. I haven't seen any of the new pin animations just because I've only done this Royal Rumble mode so far and there's no pins, you just toss the opponent out. But the new reversal animations and the new special move and charge move getting into position animations are pretty cool. Diversity is always a welcome addition, so more props and applause to Reliance Games for adding this. Nothing bad to say at all about this. So on to the next thing they've added. Superstar Takeover. Play using an unowned superstar. Don't know what this means yet. I'm assuming they may have like a rotation of sorts so you can try superstars out. I don't know if it's like event specific. They'll have an event where you can use Stone Cold to complete like the event only. Like there'll be a preset one that you have to use to complete the event. I don't know what this means yet. So hey, you'll be able to use an unknown superstar. So I guess that's a good thing. And the last one that is listed here is you can now sell the items in your stash to earn quick cash. Oh my god, that was one of my first suggestions. This was all the way back. This is all the way back to when I had the game-breaking bug hit my account. And I was saying at the time that if only you guys would make it so we could sell our items, then we wouldn't have to wait 2 goddamn weeks for you to fix it. Because it was just stash related. You could have just let us delete the items in our stash and we would have been on our merry little way, and I wouldn't have this half disdain and half applause thing going on with Reliance Games. But they finally added it, so I guess applause for that. I mean, it took long enough. It's finally here. This will help people who have issues with cash that they can't upgrade their superstars or whatever. They have the weights, but they don't have the cash. Will help people who spend a lot of time in versus mode with the cash entries and all that stuff. So Like I said, I could have used this a long time ago, but it's here now. It's a good thing. And that's it as far as I know of the changes that I'm aware of that they've listed. I already went over a couple that they have not listed. I'm sure they did that intentionally. They don't want to list out the bad things they've done, you know what I mean? Especially things like that where it's impacting the free-to-play players severely. You know, that sucks, the whole loot case situation, but overall it's a really good update. They added a good hefty amount of things, some good, some bad, but I hope that they do more of these kind of updates more frequently. Maybe not, it doesn't have to be as big, but like half of what they've done, you know, every month instead of like waiting a few months per update. I don't know, I hope to see more of this in the future from them. It's definitely a good thing. But now that we're nearing the end, we're at the second to the last match right now. Just want to reiterate, so you saw many times I used the parry. Many times I just let them attack until like that. They just get stunned by themselves by over attacking. Make sure you always keep the pressure because their energy recharge is ridiculously fast now that I'm seeing it again. It's just... I don't know what they were thinking with that, but HBK is the last opponent of the Royal Rumble. Just need to eliminate him and then we are Gucci. So parry, and it looks like he's making it easy. Last opponent is making things easy for us. Oh, just as I said that. Oh, there you go. Grab him, and that is all, folks, for the Superstar difficulty Royal Rumble 4-star event. Got our match rewards, and let's go open some loot cases. Alright, as you can see, that's the 125 that I mentioned instead of 175. Here are our sweet, sweet rewards, though, for completing it. Nice, 254 star keys. It's definitely going to go a long way towards our next 4-star loot case opening. Let's open these 2 event loot cases real quick. Oh, finally, wow. I haven't gotten a tier 3 weight from that in a long time. And they really need to up the chances of getting those because it's required for too many upgrades. Yeah, I guess 2 tier 2 showmen, but see who we get now. Shawn Michaels, nice, man. We got a bunch of superstars that we didn't have yet. Just I don't even... Oh, obviously the new additions, Bobby Roode and those guys we don't have yet, but it's just making it more and more likely when we open 3-star loot cases, we are going to get 4-star keys, which is a great thing. And another 3-star, nice. So that was a good good way to finish. Oh, what is that graphical glitch? But that's a nice little way to end things, get some more 4-star keys. But I know this video ran a little bit longer than I normally let my videos run for, but I wanted to make sure I hit every key point as far as the Royal Rumble update goes, so hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, leave a like and share this video with whoever you want to share it with. If you're new around here, subscribe to the channel to be notified about all upcoming videos, including more WWE Mayhem videos. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.